Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer action. Today we're back with Grimgor and the Greenskins. I've been inspired by some recent gameplay to play some Greenskins games of my own, so here we are. Grimgor leading the way. We've got Skulkers, both the Regiment of Renowned Gobos, front line of Goblins, and two Black Orcs, one of which is the Crimson Killers. Got EVERQUEEN here, already summoning up some spiders against our high-elf opponent. You can see a group of archers here, Shadow Warriors, Storm Riders. We've got Dragon Princes led by Alariel, a Star Dragon, more Dragon Princes and Silver Helms, plenty of Spearmen as well. You can see already just all the wild things popping off, missiles hitting the Star Dragon. We've got the Doom Diver opening up on the Dragon Princes. Grimgor already popped Wa off, and we've got the Spiderlings into the Shadow Warriors now. Here comes the Star Dragon to do a bunch of damage to the EVERQUEEN, which definitely will be able to. That being said, we are getting some fire support from that Doom Diver. More Black Orcs on the way. You can see the infantry kind of get intercepted by these juiced up Gobos here. Spider Riders rushing in. Not super efficient to use them on spears, but it was a little bit of a panic order, if I'm being completely honest. Spider is taking quite a bit of damage, so I'm going to pull back here, but you can see Grimgor's coming through. And you can see who he's targeting as well. This is the wrong neighborhood for Alariel. She is going to get absolutely canned here. You can see she was at full health a few seconds ago. She's already taken the majority of her HP and damage and immediately trying to pull away. I mean, we've been going for about a minute and a half here, and already the battle getting very wild. Bounce power still pretty close, though. Alariel was able to escape there. You can see some of those Silver Helms pushing into the back line to shut down that Doom Diver. Still plenty of health on the Star Dragon as well. One unit of Dragon Princess has been dealt with, but the other one still has quite a bit of HP left. There are still some Shadow Warriors holding. Unfortunately, these Storm Riders here, these Regiment of Renown Lothern Sea Guard, are relatively expensive, but they are just getting cut to ribbons by Regiments of Renown, Black Orcs, and more. Meanwhile, you can see the Crimson Killers and the EVERQUEEN using some of the Spiderling summons to fend off these Silver Helms. We want to try and keep that Doom Diver online for as long as possible. Silver Helms are going to countercharge these Spider Riders here, but again, we're just meant to kind of fix these guys in place, allow the Spider to come in and do the anti-large armor piercing, which it certainly does have. I'm really happy about this change. Personally, that plus 14 bonus versus large isn't a ton, but it's enough to make a difference, certainly with the Queen especially. We're going to be continuously popping off those Vindictive Glares, trying to go after the Star Dragon. With the Star Dragon's 80 armor, though, it's not going to do a whole lot. You can see, though, that Grimgor are going to take an Arcane Unforging here from Alariel. She herself is getting back here, throwing some lights, throwing some glow sticks and stuff at the poor Gobbo, which is most unfortunate. Thankfully, we do have some regular goblins here to kind of protect, and Grimgor is going to try and hustle over. The Star Dragon is here as well to kind of help out Alariel. That being said, the Silver Helms were dealt with quite well. Spearmen are getting back here. You can see the Silver Helms regrouping here. But the Crimson Killers have taken basically no damage. We're going to get that sneaky stabbing going on the Spider to juice up its stats. And yeah, that is going to force the Star Dragon up in the air. Unfortunately, that's going to leave Alariel completely exposed here. And look who's coming. Oh man, that's just terrifying. She is completely surrounded by goblins at this point. Not able to move at all. Come on, Grimgor. Oh yeah, here he comes. This is pretty much going to be the end of Alariel here. You can see the Star Dragon just kind of chilling back, obviously. Can't really get into much of a position to help right now with the Spider. We've got Spider Riders around and everything, and yeah, Alariel just gets crushed by Grimgor here. She is eventually going to be able to escape with the Dragon Princess bailing her out, but not enough to save her HP. She's down to about 225 there, and yeah, that is brutal stuff. You can see that's going to set the High Elves back quite a bit. So there is still this Star Dragon here. There are still some Shadow Warriors, but the Shadow Warriors are starting to run out of ammo. You can see the Spearmen are getting quite low on HP as well. Granted, these Black Orcs have taken quite a bit of damage here. The Crimson Killers likewise down to 52 models, but you can see the little Zappa here. Going to go ahead and finish off Alariel. Just barely does enough HP damage to finish her off. That is going to trigger some leadership issues. The Star Dragon, you can see, is down on the ground, but yeah, it's going to be tough. It's pretty much completely out of reach for the High Elves at this point. So this Star Dragon going to make it stand here, and you can see Black Orcs mixed in here. I believe Grimgor is in the vicinity as well. Yep, there he is, just hewing Elves left and right, getting a nice attack on the Star Dragon himself. Grimgor, you know, I decided to take him relatively cheap here, and honestly, I think he's not too bad. He only has Wa. I cut all of his other abilities, so he's only about 1,500 points like this. And I mean, granted, he doesn't have a lot of tactical flexibility, but anything that he comes into contact with, he's going to do a lot of damage to. And in this battle, he's able to do that to Alarielle, do enough damage to her to, you know, keep her from healing the Star Dragon too much, which obviously was a big win condition for me. If she had been able to continuously heal that Star Dragon throughout the battle, you know, it would have been really tough to take down in the late game. Thankfully, because we were able to kind of force that really frantic initial engagement and get some favorable situations there, you can see the Black Orcs were able to get some really good kills. The Dragon Princes performed okay. But for the cost, you know, you'd hope for them to do a little bit more heavy lifting. Same thing with the Shadow Warriors. They got some okay kills, but, you know, for some of that time they were shooting at the Doom Diver. They weren't really able to shut that down. You know, there's just a lot of the high-value damage dealer units that I decided to bring here were heavier armor, just because, you know, you tend not to necessarily expect that. A lot of people think of the Greenskins as a lighter faction here, and my opponent didn't bring that much AP. Like, the Shadow Warriors really don't have that good of AP values. They are pretty good against some of the higher value stuff, you know, like Savage Orc Biggins, stuff like that. But, I mean, they're going to do very little to Black Orcs and to EVERQUEEN, and that's honestly where a lot of my value was. You can see these three units here are by far the most expensive in the army. I mean, besides the Doom Diver, you're looking at 500 to 600 for most of these other units. I mean, Grimgor himself, obviously, is about 1,500, but honestly, Grimgor is, I mean, he could definitely use some more to give him more tactical flexibility and just more options, but honestly, if you need a Lord that's going to be able to do some damage back to anything that comes try and take him down, and against factions that just generally aren't great against armored single targets, Grimgor can shine pretty well. You can see, you know, cheapened out like this, he's only 1,500, 1,510 to be exact. And he's honestly, like I said, he's pretty durable. 45 melee defense isn't amazing, but he does have quite a bit of HP. That HP buff in the last patch helped. I think he honestly could even stand to have more. But it's okay. 120 armor is pretty decent. He does have 70 melee attack and 500 total weapon strength. So like I said, whatever he comes into contact with, he will be able to do some damage. He may take some damage as well, because again, 45 melee defense isn't amazing. It's pretty good, but it's not amazing. But at least he's immune to psychology, so he's not going to get terror routed. He is a meatbag. He's got pretty good leadership. Compared to the rest of the Greenskins characters. Best leadership of any Greenskins character, actually, besides Skarsnik. Skarsnik is a little bit of a similar type of pick. I mean, he has a few key differences. Obviously, the poison. He's an anti-large, has significantly less total weapon strength, but he does have better melee defense, less armor, but slightly more HP, about 1,000 HP more. He does not have immune to psychology, but he does have some different abilities. Typically, you'll see him, again, cheapened out. He's a bit cheaper, but Spite of the Bad Moon can be good in certain situations if you're facing a lot of missiles. Likewise, Tricksy Traps you can use against heavy missile factions to interesting effect. It's not amazing, but, you know, you can definitely do some cheeky things with that, certainly. But, I mean, cheapened out Skarsnik, 1310 compared to Grimgor at, what was that, 1510? So, I mean, both of these guys, if you need a cheap, tanky option, they're, you know, both going to be good in different situations. I would say if you're worried about facing a lot of terror-causing units or fear-causing units, Grimgor is going to be, because of his immune to psychology, a little bit better. He also hits a little bit harder against just everything else. Skarsnik's more specifically anti-large, and that poison and better melee defense does mean he can take a little bit more heat in melee, depending. I mean, obviously the lack of armor is a bit of a difference there, but anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this one. I know it was a little bit of a shorter battle today, but I apologize. I've been trying to get some battles of my own, and just, you know, the quality of my opponent's a little bit variable there. Not that my opponent necessarily played super badly, but it was just kind of, you know, with that map and that deployment, it's always going to be a relatively quick battle. So, yeah, hopefully you guys don't mind. Have a little bit of an extended discussion here at the end. But, yeah, certainly has been a pleasure. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed watching. Be sure to check out this coming, I guess I should probably announce. I may make a separate announcement video for this, but this coming weekend on Sunday at noon Mountain Daylight Time, U.S. Mountain Daylight Time, I'm going to be hosting a tournament. Some of you may have already seen But, yep, we're going to have the Mercenaries Melee. So there's a few cash prizes involved. I'll have a link down in the description below to the tournament page. It is open registration. Keep in mind, though, that there are already several high-end tournament players signed up. So we'll see. Hopefully we get some good competition and everything. But if you just want to check out the rules and some other things there, the page is there for you. So yeah, a bit of a long-winded ramble at the end here, but thanks for sticking with me. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.